Hello everyone, it's Tania Gabrielle here, Wealth Astrologist. Welcome to Star Codes. Today we're going to look at the very important Capricorn solar eclipse. That's a new moon, but a powerful eclipse, and it's going to end not only our year, but the decade and preview 2020, because Capricorn is the sign of the year. So it's a very, very important set of eclipses coming up to end the year and then to begin the new year in January. So this one happens on December 26th, Universal Time at 5:13 a.m. in London. That's 12:13 a.m. right after midnight New York time. And on December 25th, Christmas Day, anywhere west of East Coast time. So it would be 9:13 p.m. West Coast time on the US. Now, you don't have to be a Capricorn to benefit from this forecast. You have this eclipse happening somewhere in your astrology birth chart. So knowing about it is important because you then understand what area of your life is going to be impacted by this event, and also by the coming stellium that also happens in Capricorn. Now, Capricorn is, with Cancer, the opposite sign of Capricorn, the really significant impact, influence on our life right now. And what makes this so important, of course, is that we're building into the stellium between Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, and Pluto with the Sun and Mercury. Saturn and Pluto have not been together in Capricorn in 500 years. So this Capricorn eclipse falling at the same time as the stellium is very extraordinary. This does not happen 500 years ago. And what it means is that the nodes, the lunar nodes, are in Capricorn and Cancer at the same time that we have this meetup between Saturn, rule of Capricorn, and Pluto in Capricorn. So huge, amazing moment here. So we're going to look at the dynamic impact of Capricorn, and I'm really going to dive deeply into the tips and takeaways this time. How this eclipse cycle falls on days that are literally helping us to integrate the stellium that will happen on January 12th, because the second eclipse, they tend to come in pairs, happens on January 10th, 2 days before. And the impact that this new moon solar eclipse has on us, being a new beginnings for the decade moment, and also the impact of the number 4 in this eclipse. 4 is very aligned with Saturn in Capricorn, and so it will help you understand how to actually integrate the incredible shift that is happening. And then we'll, of course, look at the tips and takeaways, which are very dynamic for this particular episode. So new moons, fresh start, solar eclipse, really deep internal fresh start where you're looking at Capricorn issues, which are all about dedication. And so this is a birth of inner dedication. And so you want to look at, what are you dedicating your energy to? This is really the ultimate question right now, because being the final eclipse of the decade, bridging the 2010s with the 2020s, showing the way for the next 10 years, you want to take time during the holidays, because this falls on December 26th and 25th in some areas, to just look at, well, what am I dedicating my life to? What am I dedicating my most precious resource, my energy, towards? So Capricorn really likes to dive into self-awareness, and this eclipse is going to get a lot of help from a couple of planets, which we'll go into in a moment, which will help with that. So you will be able to understand secret mysteries, secret messages, just like you discover in your star code. When you look at your birthday, you look at your birth name, you discover those secrets and mysteries yourself about who you are at soul level, why you incarnated at this time, what your destiny is, what your purpose is. So as we go into eclipse season and the new decade, it's of course, fantastic time to do that internal check-in with what's happening with you. And you can do that at starcodeclass.com. So since we have the two eclipses straddling each side of the new decade, and they are in Capricorn and Cancer, which are cardinal signs. Notice all the C's: Cancer, Capricorn, Cardinal. C is creativity. C is the third letter of the alphabet. C represents the triad of mother, father, child, creation, imagination, self-expression. All of this has to be manifested because of the number 4, which is also active. This eclipse happens at 4 degrees Capricorn. And 4 is the number associated with Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn. 4 is about work, structure, discipline, integrity, honesty, practical solutions, security, everything that Saturn also stands for. So let's break the code down even further. The eclipse happens universal time on the 26th of December. 26, 2 plus 6 equals 8, right? And then it happens at 13 past the hour everywhere in the world. And 13, 1 plus 3 equals 4 again. So we have 2 4s and an 8. And 4 and 8 are in the same triad in numerology, the manifestation triad. They have a very special relationship, these two numbers. They are the numbers of destiny and fate. So, for example, if your birthday adds up to 4 or 8, which you discover at starcodeclass.com, or your day of birth adds up to 4 or 8, you will naturally attract, fatefully destined attract other people in your life who have a 4 or 8 in their birthday as well. So it's the manifestation triad. 4 builds and lays down the foundation, and 8 leads and creates the results through inner authority, through leadership. And 2020 is going to be a 4 universal year, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0. So you can see this eclipse is forecasting in so many ways, not just through Capricorn, the sign, but also through the degree number, 4 degrees, what we will be expecting in 2020. Now, the sun and moon at 4 degrees are forming an incredible trine to Uranus and Taurus. Taurus and Capricorn are both earth signs, and they're very grounding, secure energetically. Uranus, though, is an air sign planet, being the ruler of Aquarius. And so Uranus is able to liberate and free us and bring a revolution, an internal revolution that creates breakthroughs. And that's where this greater awareness that is so necessary now is going to happen. It's going to be helped by Uranus's amazing double trine to the sun and moon. And so this will enhance positive change, surprises that feel good, encounters with others that feel serendipitous. Uranus governs the higher mind, and so awareness is very much broadened in terms of your greater journey, why you are here. It's going to give you the intuition to get incredible downloads because it is the intuition planet. I call it the Nikola Tesla sign, Aquarius, and Nikola Tesla planet, Uranus, because of the ingeniousness, the flashes of insight, the ability with Capricorn now to instill greater self-confidence because you're owning who you are as an individual, as a free, sovereign person walking the earth, not trying to please anyone but yourself, how you feel, right? Tuning in to that source connection here. That is what Uranus does. And so it's the inventor, it's the adventurer. And at this point, during eclipse cycle, it's actually the third contact Uranus has had with the new moons. In October and November, we had an opposition, then we had an exact quincunx, 150 degrees, and now we have the trine, 120 degrees. So Uranus, over the last few months, has already prepared us for all of that change. And it's coming to a beautiful culmination because the trine of all of those connections is the most harmonious. And so we're coming into this holiday week and we'll be able to take advantage of listening because, hey, it's probably the quietest week of the year. And so you need quiet time. You need serenity to listen to those inspirational downloads. So you want to allow the eclipse trine Uranus to take you to new territory, especially as we end the decade and are preparing for the new. It is a new moon eclipse. So be open to encounters that come out of nowhere. Be open to be synchronistically creative in terms of the changes that are coming into your life, because this is, again, about change and innovation. And the other wonderful thing about this solar eclipse is that it is conjunct Jupiter. So amazing. I mean, this is incredible because Jupiter just moved into Capricorn on December 2nd, a couple of weeks ago. And Jupiter conjunct a new moon anyway is just very fortunate. It's all about good luck. So it makes you feel good, grateful, blessed, abundant, expansive. It's just fantastically optimistic energy. And so your relationship to financial flow, to prosperity, to feeling like you can prosper in all ways is absolutely excellent. So since Jupiter is conjunct the sun and moon, you probably realized by now that it is also forming that trine to Uranus. So 3 are trining Uranus because we're including Jupiter now. And Jupiter trine Uranus is fantastic because it makes you feel like you're getting lucky breaks. And this transit between Jupiter and Uranus actually was exact on the 15th of December. So it is just being activated now again by this solar eclipse, which means it's taking a long time to actually impact us, which is good news, right? Because anybody wants fortunate breaks in their life. So it's going to encourage you to take risks without feeling like you have to push really hard. So instead, you're trusting your intuitive awareness to move forward naturally when the timing is right. And Capricorn and Saturn are all about correct timing, so that the result is actually exhilarating and exciting. That is good news. Now, the other thing is that this eclipse, Sun, Moon, and Jupiter are square to Chiron. And it's good that Jupiter is part of this square because Jupiter brings this very joyful, expansive, wise energy to Chiron, the great healer. Now, a square is energy that means you need to get up and act. It causes tension, and the tension, just like in music, the tension in a chord that is discordant has to resolve into harmony. Same with squares. The square is asking you to get up and get something done in order to bring balance and harmony into your life. So Jupiter is adding this joy to the healing process. And since Jupiter governs faith and your belief system, you're being asked with Chiron being in a square, well, why am I placing my faith in this situation? Or why am I placing my faith in this person? Let me redirect my faith to what actually feels good. So you're upgrading your belief system with this square, and you're going towards those things that allow you to be open, feel loving, feel lightness, feel joyful. So this square to Chiron is allowing you to reorient your beliefs, and that results in a lot of healing. Because, our beliefs are unconsciously created by our programming, by what's coming in from the outside, from day one, even past lives. So there's going to be a lot of fear that is let go of as a result. And this combination is really wonderful because, when you have belief systems that are driven by love and by wisdom, they interpret events. You are going to start to hear and see differently. Your perspective on life will change. And so it's a really incredible moment coming at the end of a decade and the onset of a new one, because your self-awareness will go through the roof. And that's the key to all breakthroughs, is to be self-aware. It brings a lot of healing. So what can we focus on in terms of this eclipse? What are the big takeaways? Well, this eclipse is conjunct Jupiter, as I said, and that brings a lot of lucky breaks. The moon conjunct Jupiter makes you feel like you have a lot of advantages now. The sun conjunct Jupiter means that there are opportunities for growth. And just keep in mind, because it's an eclipse, it may take a little bit for you to feel these. You may not necessarily feel them the moment that the eclipse is happening, because it's dark during an eclipse. So the darkness has to evolve into becoming visible. So give it a little bit of time. But here's the big takeaway that I want you to really focus on. And it's a metaphor for Capricorn and the impact that this sign is having on your life, but in a very positive way. So I want you to imagine a skyscraper now. You can imagine it in any color you want. And understand that in order to build a skyscraper, you have to dig about 1/3 of the height of the building into the ground in order to establish a secure foundation. And that is the essence of Capricorn and Saturn, is the building of the security. Plumbing the depths and discovering what's there is Pluto territory. So we are literally, in this metaphor, understanding Pluto's ability to just take authority of your life, to be fearless, to uncover and deal with what comes up in terms of what you're digging out, what you're seeing, what's being revealed, the darkness being brought into light, not judging it, not ignoring it, confronting it and moving on. That is not wasting energy or time, and that's being in total authority of your life, which is Pluto. Right? And then the effort that it takes to actually do the digging is very Capricornian, it's Saturnian, and it allows you to build that strong initial structure that can withstand anything. And of course, that takes a committed effort, which is, again, Capricorn. Digging deep, purging is the Pluto, discovering what to keep, what to discard, what to let go, and building your future. So that's a wonderful metaphor. You can also imagine a tree with its roots as well. So Capricorn helps you to handle responsibilities. Capricorn allows you to see the importance of keeping commitments to yourself and to others, and using time to your advantage as well, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. The Greeks called Saturn Chronos, and Chronos is time. So understanding not only the value of time and not wasting it, but also the value of timing, being patient, allowing the universe to evolve in a natural way, which basically placing your trust in universal law and universal rhythm. So this really helps you to own who you are. This is the leadership component, the responsiveness, the responsibility, the working diligently on your dreams, and also to have a sense of mentorship in your life. Either you are a mentor to others and helping them through guidance, through maintaining direction and discipline so they can fulfill their dreams, and also you having that mentorship in your life so that you have that wonderful sense of being supported, being given tools by people who've walked the path already, who are not telling you to follow them, but are showing you how best to use your gifts in order to fulfill your own destiny. Now, the shadow side of Capricorn also has to be looked at, and that is that you want to relinquish any compulsive need to control others or to be in power over others. Also, not to be too serious, to have fun, to play, to enjoy the pleasures of life. Guard against being rigid and negative, pessimistic. Those are the shadow side. That inflexibility is the shadow side of Capricorn. Now, the other component of Capricorn that's so beautiful is that being an earth sign, it really values silence and serenity. So when you spend time in quietude, your inner awareness evolves rapidly because your sense of wanting life to be complex dissipates in silence. You're just being who you are and you're immersing yourself in stillness, and that does not allow for complexity and disruption. So that means that your inner genius is allowed to evolve and live through your inner voice, which listens to the divine, which receives this incredible wisdom. And you are able to basically take charge of the creativity in your life, what you love, and create a sanctuary of silence. So I want you to think of this time, especially as we end the decade and enter a new year, to create that sanctuary of silence in your life. What does that mean to you? How can you partake in it every day? It's about time to just be yourself without any interruption, any distraction. And that time, that inner serenity guides you on how to proceed next, no matter what the decision is. So make this sanctuary of silence part of your life. It'll allow you to take charge of your destiny in a very beautiful way, a peaceful way. It'll allow you to have a clear vision. And remember, we're moving into 2020 vision, perfect vision. So keep in mind that every result, every positive opportunity that unfolds and manifests takes time. And you will reap the results, undoubtedly, if you apply yourself in a steady, responsible way. That is the key. To be immersed in responsiveness and responsibility is the key. And remember, you are a star being. You come from the stars. You have the inner authority to live your light with purpose, to be a being of love in every way at any time. And as we segue into the 2020s, which are about peace, which are about connection within and connection with others, and love, intimacy, as we enter this decade, I want you just to take this time in silence and create that relationship to your heart, to divine source, to God, so that you know you are always in partnership with Spirit. So I wish you a beautiful Capricorn solar eclipse, beautiful holidays. Take this time to discover your beautiful star code at starcodeclass.com. And I will be back next week with another episode of Star Codes.